it is kind of crazy to look back on it and think that you have Yo Gotti, who's traditionally always been pretty tight-lipped, pretty quiet about beef and everything, and then all of a sudden he's got this new artist who is just acting a fool, doing all the craziest shit, pulling up to people's neighborhoods, making Instagram videos, etc. All this stuff that you don't see anybody associated with CMG doing that stuff. You don't really see a lot of rappers besides like, you know, more underground guys doing that type of shit in general these days, just because I think people are a little bit more aware of how much the cops are watching them on social media and everything.
Yo, Gotti just sparked a full-blown war in Memphis with his own artists, and the streets are feeling it. The entire hip-hop community is on edge watching the CMG empire, and all that success start to crack. Tension's been simmering for a minute, and now it's blown up into something that could get deadly real quick. The shocking truth behind what's ripping one of Memphis's strongest crews apart is darker and messier than anyone ever imagined, and we're about to lay it all out. Listen up, fam. We're diving straight into some real street drama that's shaking the hip-hop world to its core. This ain't just gossip. We're talking loyalty getting tested, betrayals hitting hard, and how fast things can spiral when egos clash and old scars resurface. Before we jump into this chaos, let's get it straight. Social media has been wild with theories about why Blac Youngsta suddenly wiped CMG from his bio and went independent. But we're cutting through the noise, separating fact from fiction, and showing the truth behind the headlines. This situation ain't just a label dispute from a few days ago. It's a whole saga. And trust me, it's about to get even crazier. That's when everything flipped for the CMG family. Blac Youngsta, the dude who rode harder for Yo Gotti than anyone, the same one who was front and center through the whole Young Dolph situation, suddenly went independent and started throwing shots that had the streets buzzing. This Memphis rapper was dropping cryptic posts that had everyone talking, and Yo Gotti's response only added fuel to the fire. Now don't get it twisted, this ain't just another artist leaving a label. Nah, this is way more personal. We're talking about two guys who were like brothers, building an empire together, facing enemies side by side. But here's where it gets messy. Once the common enemy is out of the picture, sometimes the crew starts turning on each other, and that's exactly the tension brewing right now. Every year, Blac Youngsta goes viral for the same stunt, taking CMG out his bio and claiming independence. Last year, he did it just a week before Yo Gotti's birthday, but still rolled up to the celebration like nothing happened. This time, though, fam, the energy is on another level. The posts he's dropping aren't just about independence. They're loaded with vibes that are straight up hostile, and the streets are noticing every move. This is all about respect, loyalty, and exposing fake love. Youngsta hit social media with a post saying, "Play with me. I'm gonna take everything that came out your mama. I swear to God all my brothers dead, so why not? The house gonna send this upside down about me, dead or alive. But I stand on my own 10. That's some raw, aggressive energy right there. He's basically saying he's got nothing to lose because everyone he loved is already gone. But the story gets way deeper than just an artist feeling some type of way. Youngsta followed up with another post clearly aimed at Yo Gotti. He wrote, "These dudes CB4, and they still misleading the youth like they some type of mob bosses. Bro, it's 11 a.m. I'm going to bed. Sick of these dudes. I'm gonna lead by example." For those who don't know, calling someone CB4 is one of the biggest disrespects in the game. CB4 was a movie exposing fake rappers pretending to be gangsters. So basically, Youngsta is saying Gotti's fronting, playing a mob boss role he's not really living. Here's the kicker. Yo Gotti built his whole brand around that mob boss image, literally taking his name from John Gotti. And now, Youngsta is calling that out publicly, shaking the foundation of everything CMG has been built on. Yo, the famous Italian mafia boss of the Gambino family, influenced Yo Gotti in multiple interviews and even in his music. So this wasn't just some random jab. Youngsta was going straight at Gotti's identity and brand. The streets went silent when Youngsta dropped, "I blame the fake OG, the fake big homies, the fake big brothers, the fake CEOs, the fake teachers, the fake people in your life, not telling you right from wrong." All those titles. Here's why it hit hard. At one point, Blac Youngsta called Yo Gotti all of that: OG, big homie, big brother, CEO. So there's zero confusion about who he's throwing these shots at. Now, Gotti didn't stay quiet. Nah, He responded in a cold, calculated way. He posted 3 pics with the caption, "Nothing bigger, unbreakable," and played Jay-Z's Dynasty intro. And for anyone sleeping on this, nothing in these moves is random. Every post, every pic, every track choice is calculated. The Jay-Z bars spoke directly to the streets. The line that popped off, the theme song to The Sopranos, play in the key of life on my mental piano. Fam, y'all know The Sopranos is all about mob life, so Yo Gotti was basically saying, my life, like that show, responding directly to Youngsta calling him CB4 and exposing the tension for everyone watching. And Youngsta throwing shots saying Gotti's misleading the youth like he's some type of mob boss. Gotti doubled down, straight up saying, yeah, I am that and I'm unbreakable. But the real kicker, the bar that shows exactly where Gotti's mind is, comes when Jay-Z spits, clap whoever, stand between Sean and Figures. Let that marinate for a sec. Gotti's basically putting everyone on notice. Anyone who stands between him and his money is messing with the wrong dude. And if Youngsta's moves are shaking the CMG brand or Gotti's business, well, you already know how to read between the lines. Now, the big question everyone's asking, why now? Why did this blow up after years of simmering tension? The answer might tie back to the Young Dolph case. Recently, Hernandez, the dude prosecutors called the mastermind behind Dolph's murder, walked free. That not guilty verdict flipped the whole game, changing the power dynamics and shaking the streets. And now, with all eyes on Memphis, we gotta address the elephant in the room. This beef isn't just about music, it's about legacy, loyalty, and who's really running the streets behind the scenes. Blac Youngsta was one of the loudest voices dissing Young Dolph. Even after Dolph's death, he performed Shake Some at a Dallas nightclub. Right after he shot a music video, rumor has it in a graveyard, rapping in front of a tombstone that read Thornton, Dolph's real last name. That move caused major backlash, but Youngsta didn't flinch. He said, I'm the type of dude who ain't never sat back looking for nobody to feel sorry for me. I come from the heart of South Memphis where you get no sympathy. For anyone not feeling the streets, let me break it down. The tension between Youngsta and Gotti started heating up after Dolph passed. Word is Yo Gotti and CMG didn't want Youngsta disrespecting Dolph posthumously. Why? Because everyone knew how loved Dolph was, and that kind of energy could be bad for business. CMG's name was already tied to the murder case. Gotti's brother Big Jook got picked up and questioned during the trial, and CMG was mentioned multiple times. So when Youngsta started trolling Dolph's death right after it happened, it wasn't just disrespect. It put Gotti and the label in a bad position in the streets, stirring controversy that nobody could ignore. We know how it goes. Once the common enemy is gone, the crew starts turning on each other. In this case, that enemy was Young Dolph, and now that he's gone, it looks like that tension is exploding between Blac Youngsta and Yo Gotti. We already got a taste of it during the trial when Cornelius Smith, one of the alleged shooters, turned star witness for the prosecution. He testified that it was Big Jook, Yo Gotti's brother, who put a $100,000 bounty on Dolph's head. That's snitching, plain and simple. It exposed cracks in loyalty and trust within the CMG circle. But this isn't just about two rappers squaring off. This is about power, control, and what happens when an artist feels boxed in or silenced. Youngsta even said in an interview that he and Gotti bump heads all the time because of the way he moves. Gotti thinks Youngsta's reckless, and Youngsta, he's embracing it. He even dropped a CMG project called Young and Reckless. That title alone tells you everything about their dynamic, chaotic, fiery, and unpredictable. The real concern now? Where this beef is headed next. Streets are watching, tensions boiling, and every move either side makes could push this thing over the edge. This situation between Youngsta and Gotti could blow up real quick if they don't figure out how to coexist. Yo Gotti moves like a president, connected at the highest levels, strategic, and always planning 10 steps ahead. If a full-on war went down, it wouldn't be him taking the fall. It would be his friends, his family, anyone close to him. He's got the power to make moves from a distance, and Youngsta would feel that heat fast. Youngsta needs to tread carefully because Gotti operates at a level that goes beyond the streets. It's nothing for him to get someone arrested or have a mutual friend handle business the mob way. That's how it works when you're dealing with someone with real influence and clout. The streets are noticing how this mirrors the young Dolph situation. If we rewind back to around 2012, when Dolph was starting to gain serious traction in Memphis, Gotti reportedly reached out to offer him a CMG deal. But Dolph turned it down. That's when the tension started brewing. Dolph claimed Gotti dissed his own artists during the pitch, saying they weren't really that good and that Dolph was different. To Dolph, it felt like Gotti was throwing his own team under the bus just to lure him in. Fast forward to now, and we're seeing a similar pattern with Youngsta. The same mix of power, ego, and street politics threatening to erupt into chaos. He's calling out fake love, fake loyalty, and everyone who's been fronting for too long. He said, "I'm cool standing alone. I'm cool knowing I've put trust in the wrong people a few times. I wash my hands. No more making it look good. We either cool or we not, fam." That's a man who feels straight up betrayed. This is someone who gave everything to an organization and now feels it wasn't returned. Combine that with the fact he's lost all his brothers, like he said, and you've got a person with nothing to lose. That's the most dangerous type in any scenario, someone backed into a corner with no fear. At the end of the day, this beef ain't just about Yo Gotti and Blac Youngsta. It's about loyalty, power, and control. It's about what happens when the foundation of a relationship starts cracking and the stakes get too high. The music industry has a way of turning brothers into enemies when money, ego, and outside pressure come into play. And right now, the streets are watching every move, waiting to see who's really running the game and who's about to get burned. This is about the consequences of moves made during beef, and how those moves can come back to haunt you. The real question is, can this blow up be stopped before it turns deadly? Memphis has already lost too many talented artists to street violence. Young Dolph is gone, Big Jook is gone, and Youngsta's own brother is gone. How many more have to fall before these cycles end? For Yo Gotti, this is a test of leadership. Does he squash the beef and bring Youngsta back into the fold? Or does he let it play out and risk more bloodshed? For Blac Youngsta, it's about his legacy. Does he want to be remembered as the artist who rode for his team no matter what, or as the one who went to war with the people who helped build him? The streets are watching, the culture is watching, and everyone's waiting to see the next move. And let's be real, when beef gets to this level in Memphis, it rarely ends peacefully. History has shown that again and again. So what's your take? Can Yo Gotti and Blac Youngsta squash this before it gets worse, or is it already too late? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Make sure you join the Rap Uncovered family. Turn on notifications and subscribe because the streets never sleep and we're just getting started. We drop heat every single day, and tomorrow's upload is going to be even crazier, even deeper, and absolutely unmissable. Smash that like button, share the video with all your homeboys, and keep your eyes on the streets with us. This is real street politics playing out in real time, and we'll break it all down for you. Stay safe, fam. Loyalty matters, but so does knowing when to walk away. Sometimes the realest move is choosing peace over pride. But in the streets of Memphis, that's easier said than done. Catch us in the next one, right here at Rap Uncovered, where the truth of the streets lives.